Welcome back, everybody. This is Legit Lee back again with another video. Today's another update of the CO2 laser machine that I've been designing. And literally I went from 3D printed to actual metal. And I had the part, but I had to chop it up. So that's the reason why you guys aren't seeing like a before and after type of thing. I mean, you guys could see the other videos and see that it was black, made out of PLA basically. This one is actually a new design that I made for linear rail to go on the back side of here to go back and forth, just to stiffen up the x-axis a little bit. But honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna go with this or not. It would be kind of simple to make since it's all squared up, so it wouldn't really take much to make this. But I'm not sure if I'm going to go that route since I already have this one on here and I designed this one from scratch. It took a while to get this one because of all the curvature and sanding and all that stuff. Then I went ahead and painted it with some matte red spray paint that I had. It's not the best paint job, but it works. It still is nice. And the reason why I went with this steel, this is actual metal, like steel gauge that you can buy at like Lowe's. The reason why I went with this instead is because the 3D printed PLA pieces started to melt because of the heat that was generated from the laser going through the hot end here, or I'm sorry, not the hot end, but the focusing lens or laser head, whichever you prefer to call it. So since that happened, it was getting too hot, started melting, and then it started throwing off my cuts a little bit. So I had to go with something that can withstand the heat, which either would be aluminum or steel or some kind of metal material. Maybe even plexiglass, depending on how much heat that it was producing. I'm not sure. It was pretty hot to the touch when I was touching it with just my hand, so I don't know if plexiglass would have worked or not. So I just went with steel since I already had it lying around. And I have a welder and a bunch of angle grinders and stuff, so it really helped me build this. And since I already had the 3D printed part, I basically just copied the dimensions of it with tracing around it with a Sharpie onto the metal, cutting the metal to the right dimensions, drilling out the holes. And I even went a step further. After I drilled out the holes and had everything set up, I threaded and tapped the M4 screws right here into the frame, so I didn't have to go underneath and add another washer and nut. So literally it's screwed into the metal itself. So that saved me 2 extra bolts and nuts that I didn't have to worry about using. Matter of fact, they're sitting right over here. There goes 1 and 2, and then here goes the washers. These were all underneath the part here for the 3D printed part inside that gap. So literally I don't need them. I already got the whole thing threaded now, so that's good. So not only can it withstand heat, it can actually take in the bolts, so I can go smaller if I want to, and so that way I won't have to have these longer bolts in here. But I'm not worried about that. I did go ahead and put some nuts and screws on the bottom, or nuts and actual washers, because what I'm doing is tightening it down to the part. So not only is it threaded here, but it's going to be tightened with a nut, so that makes it even more stiffer, because these belts need to have a lot of tension to be able to move back and forth. So I went ahead and did that. I will be designing and cutting a motor bracket so I can get rid of this PLA part that I have on here, so that way the motor can actually be mounted with a piece of acrylic instead. I'll probably do like 2 of these, like cut out 2 of this, because this is kind of thin. This is 3mm, so I'll probably do 2 of the 3mm of the same type, and then it will be 6mm thick, which will be accounted for in here, and then we won't have to worry about it melting or having too much tension on it or anything like that. And I'll just glue them together with some super glue or acrylic type of glue that helps bond them together and fuse them. I did find some. I had some from way back when, and I did find it again just recently, so I do have some I can use for the adhesion type. Anyway, I'm going to turn the machine on. I'm going to just let you guys see that the dimensions are so accurate. You'll be able to see that it will hit dead center. I didn't change anything on my mirrors at all. All I did was mount this on here, pulled it all the way to the front like it needs to be, and then tightened it down for the laser head. So let me go ahead and turn the machine on here. Now, like I said, this end stop on this side isn't mounted, so that one is back there for the Y, but the X I need to click with my finger because it gets too close to the edge here. We don't want it to bump up. There we go. So I had to click it with my finger for now until I get a part cut out for this to touch that end stop over there. But you can see, went down to the center for the most part. Now if I close my eyes, I'm gonna hit test fire, and then you guys will see that it would shoot dead in the center. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, close your eyes, and bam. Now you can see it had some flame going on because there's air being blown over here from this fan, and then I got this blower fan up in here spinning, so it caused some air. So, you know, obviously it caused a little bit of a fire inside the actual piece here. Let me just shut the machine off so we're not running anything. So basically what happened was it had air trapped inside of here plus the air around, so when we hit the shot it burnt the actual tape. But you can see it's dead center because the hole is literally covering up the exact center of all this, so it was perfect. And there you go. So to reiterate, the machine should be working completely fine now without anything happening. Now yes, I replaced this because it's taking in all of the power of the lens and the it's taking all the power from the laser through a lens. So yes, this will get hot, and plus it's already aluminum going through connecting to this piece now, but it was plastic beforehand. But if you're wondering if I have to replace these and like make this out of steel, I don't think I need to, because this is just focusing using the lenses. So this should just redirect the power. It shouldn't actually receive it and keep it going. So all it's going to do is receive power and redirect it, but it's not going to keep it here where it will melt all this over here. I honestly don't think I'm going to have to worry about replacing anything else. So only this part had to be replaced. And if you think about it, the original K40 came with an aluminum bracket. I was going to use this to mount, but I wasn't liking it. I tried cutting it off, but it still didn't work the way I wanted to. But this is the part of the bracket that originally came with the K40. So that one, just like I was mentioning, it already was made out of aluminum, so some kind of metal. So that makes sense now that, you know, obviously it just takes in so much power and heat that it would melt plastic. So I wouldn't even recommend doing it in like ABS or nylon or anything, because I know those can take a lot of heat, but I don't think it'll be able to hold that heat during multiple jobs running or something. So like if you're constantly running your machine doing, say, like, I don't know, 10-minute work here and there, like over and over again, like say you're just doing like one part, bam, you got that done, threw another in there, I don't think it would last long either for any other plastic pieces. So I would just recommend going metal here for sure, just to be safe. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. Please like, share, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I'll be throwing out more videos. The machine is almost done. I just got to get some more aluminum for the actual lid. I'm probably going to go with just some aluminum tubing, 20, like one of those 8-foot square tubes you can get from Lowe's, because I don't really need a whole lot, and I'm only mounting the top part, you know, like plexiglass to it, so I don't really need it to be inside of here like this type of excursion. So I'm probably just going to buy that because it'll be cheaper to go that route. I'm trying to make sure this machine is done nicely but cheaply at the same time, so you got to kind of do cost comparison. One of these 1,000mm excursions can cost you about like $40, but I can spend like $25 on an 8-foot aluminum tube, you know what I mean? So that's way longer than this, and it doesn't cost as much. So Either way, you guys will see it. I'm definitely super psyched. I hope you guys are too. My name is Legit Lee, and I will be seeing you guys in the next video.